We are not sending continuous videos.
हेलो
सर, जब भी अगर कन्वर्सेशन होगा तो अपनी साइड से प्लीज माइक म्यूट रखिएगा क्योंकि इको आता है। एक बार टेस्ट करवा लीजिए सभी।
पहले अपना इसका जो आपका कैमरा है इसको क्या फोकस कर सकते हैं क्या?
सर इतना ही रहेगा ये ना कैमरा।
अच्छा ऐसे ही रहेगा।
हाँ जी हाँ जी।
ओके
सर एक बार ना टेस्ट कर लीजिए सभी का कि कहीं से इको तो नहीं जनरेट हो रहा।
हेलो हेलो हेलो, ठीक आ रहा है क्या आवाज?
यस मैम, मैम आपका आवाज ठीक आ रहा है।
बस एक ही वीडियो है
और सही है।
हाँ जी सर, आपकी आवाज बिल्कुल ओके है।
यस सर।
केवल दूसरी ऊपर उठा के
प्रेजेंटेशन वहाँ की तरफ से सिर्फ वीडियो है।
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही। आपका म्यूट है मेरे मिनिस्टर के। एक बार ऑडियो टेस्ट करिएगा प्लीज।
यस मैम, चेक कीजिए ऑडियो क्लियर है
क्या?
ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
ये लॉन्च के डायरेक्ट बाद पीपीटी शेयर है?
नहीं, पहले पीपीटी।
पहले पीपीटी उसके बाद लॉन्च।
हेलो मैम, आवाज आ रही है?
आपकी साइड से इको आ रहा है।
हमारा तो म्यूट ही रहेगा।
ठीक है।
Can you use the time more meaningfully? Sir, you have something to discuss? No? How is the SCR? It only goes to 2 weeks in the month. They will say that there is circulation control. Secretary was saying that 2 people are coming because there is no circulation. There is an issue, sir. There is circulation issue because there is nothing yet. Now we have. See, I got a fan color. I should decide. They do not call it. At least it's not black letter. Okay. Oh, sir. This is golden. Golden.
जी मैम देखिए
Have you read any joke today? No. That's why I'm telling you. Bad jokes. Yes. Oh, sorry.
जी मिल रहा ना ठीक है मैम ना तो थोड़ा कर दीजिए इसमें लाइव जाएगा
Okay now.
इंटरव्यू में मैं बोल चुका हूँ कभी कॉल मैं दे दिया थ्रू कर दिया प्रमोशन मीटिंग में
So he's ready for our will say. You know what you should do? If you know this charging, these power banks are there for charging stuff. We can get those and put some power on that. You know, but now this year not. This year is not going to come to.
So they are giving you black and they are giving you white. So I see. Okay, मुझे लगा कि reason for
No, to match it.
to match exactly.
But this is also matching. It's called
Contrast match.
with our age, black and white is good. Color comes later.
research project given to everyone basically given to which kind of women? Like anybody can apply or will some people? This is that's normal exam startup this is open for women who are permanently in providing the master, not for the what we are doing for women scientists who are doing this is only for okay, got it. Thank you.
What are you handling this year?
like use the 3-year R&D डिस्प्ले आ हुआ है मॉनिटर यहाँ पे लगाता हूँ डिस्प्ले तो वो कोई सॉल्यूशन इनिशियल से रिसर्च बहुत शीघ्र कौन सा 10,000
But if she needs to really scholarship,
then
she
she comes
needs
we have given urgently आपके अपार्टमेंट से सॉल्यूशन completely
So sir, she is also getting a 10 lakhs. So personal scholarship, 10 lakhs on overall.
this one is a senior level
No, 35 to 50. And this is agreement for 3 years and not extendable. And
one month in my second year cycle.
Yeah, but it has to go to expenditure. No, okay, but you have to put up sign like what is additional burden. Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, I see.
I think this secretary was
आपके साथ है काउंसलर
I think
you are the one who are on leave for 1 year.
he was there. I think
Those were the I was somebody told you. I was trying to get that look. There was some resistance from your own staff.
I know.
Oh, you know. But then I have to say that there isn't that. Not my business. You will recommend. अगर आपने तो किया जमा किया that is their problem. बात हुआ है ना. It's not my job to do right or wrong. Why? It's there then. Then it's a good design. But I don't thought that in small box there is some perception.
what he has given. We have to manage our I'm just thinking loud. We don't do it
She came for 5 years. After 3 years, she was one time twice. So service will turn after completion.
So see which ones are
See them. We decided we external plus I was steering some resistance. I was giving comments from this is and I'm not going to let them find out. Otherwise, we don't support them. We have to do the rule. We have to do cover. It's the rate of the side. Due to the
ना थोड़ी देर के बाद इसको बोलेंगे बंद कर दो
खुद ही बंद कर दे पहले तुम हाथ को होने दो गरम लग रहा है मतलब गाली देते
I understand it. I can stand for the genesis. 20 years back, they had 3 years.
what else is
I feel we can also be security state. Your security is clarified that this child being has to be counted. So the good question.
पूरी बंद करना काम चलाएंगे पहले तो गवर्नमेंट का
सब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट राइट ये कैसे आएगा
मैं नहीं रहता
मेरे को मेरा काउंटिंग पर आता है
मैं रहता भी नहीं अकेले रहता हूँ इस रूम अरे बंद करने के पहले तो ठंडा होने दो 2 मिनट बंद किया नहीं सकते उसका शरीर लेके लाइफ में बंद नहीं है
देखिए आपके
ये भी चलाइए ज़्यादा हल्ला वाला फोटो पहले
हमारा काम नहीं
Obviously, this committee cannot
अच्छा ये मैं चला गया
why only exploratory research? This is not complete correctly. I mean, this research, only exploratory research. I think it should be excellent research. He should be excellent or exceptional, something excellent. Research.
actually
Exploratory research is a very limiting,
What I am understanding, there is a conditioning of our mind in DSP. Research में societal research, basic research. So I think he's
but exploratory research, there is a
basic science is mentioned.
basic science doesn't mean exploratory only.
That's
Exploratory is okay with like preliminary
it's more of that.
I think it should be replaced by excellent research. Excellence in research. With promoting opportunities for women. Why? I mean, even if you mean basic research, it should not be limited only to that.
Exactly.
What is basic? It could be applied. I mean, I'm excluding them. No, not excluding them.
Only research.
Excellence. So you have to find some other word. He say excellent, excellence, empowered, empowering.
It's more of empowered. Both grand and philosophy basically is empowered.
Exemplary research. I think good.
So they are close beyond.
Hi Sandeep, can you hear me? I don't know if you. Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, you are looking in the pink of health. No, I don't mean to make light of your fever. How is it going now?
It is okay. I am following up with the medicines, and it appears that we will have a test next week to ascertain how things have progressed, and that's when I get to know if I am negative or otherwise.
Yeah. No, I know you are not. You are never negative. You will always be positive, like all of us. There's a scary news. You will always be positive.
Thank you. But what my personal experience is that this diet causes quite a bit of weakness. I am unsure of what is the reason, but it feels even difficult to. So I hope it will become better soon enough.
Yeah.
How are you? I read that the pollution levels have gone up, and I'm sure you.
I'm start to suffer. Yeah. The pollution level is indeed up. Yeah. No, I'm just more sensitive than that's the reason he's asking me. I'm sensitive to pollution. Yeah. All these 3 months, it would be big suffering.
Yeah, that's terrible. I think they're still taking care of Parali. I'm not sure whether the pollution is to the burning or they have not been doing it with that extent, right?
I don't know, but anyway, that's why they call it burning issue. For right reasons, they call it that.
If honorable ministers, but then can I just try to show my slide one time just as a try run?
Yeah, you can show. Try it out.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay.
एक्सपोजर साथ नहीं दे रहा है कैमरे को, चेंज करना पड़ेगा। बोल दिया
second class is you are
सर संदीप जी आपकी पीपीटी आ नहीं रही, देख आप चेक कर रहे हैं।
आपको जो बोलिए सर नहीं मिलता वो पीपीटी अच्छा तो कौन
किया था। और तो उसके बाद तो वो भी है ना, मिलने वाले भी तो
बंद कर देंगे।
मेरे को अभी तक तो कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है। क्यों? अभी से कौन है कोड़ी है अभी तो? उसी के लिए कार्डर चाहिए? क्यों चाहिए? तो आपको मिल तो रहा है कार्डर दूसरा के लिए, सबको शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं। फिर 11 वाला क्यों मांगेगा आप? जरूर। चलो ठीक है।
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, this is Sandeep Verma. Can we begin, sir?
Oh yes, sure.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, let me thank you very much for agreeing to launch Sir Power program. Power stands for, sir, promoting opportunities for women in exploratory research. And I would also like to apologize, sir, I am not present there in person as I have been tested COVID positive and I am under home isolation. So my apologies, sir. I would also like to welcome Chairman of SERB Board, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary DST, and all colleagues from DST and SERB fraternity for the launch of Power. Sir, Power is a program that was envisaged looking at the gender disparity in terms of research funding that has been provided by SERB for exploratory research in various areas of science and engineering. Sir, upon brainstorming within board and also having directions from the chairman SERB, we decided to create a separate program where we could empower and give weighted opportunities for women in research in various areas of science and engineering. It was the program was created, sir. It was taken to the full board meeting of SERB support for this idea. And following their approval, following the approval of the board, sir, we created this program, which we will be presenting to you in a few moments' time. With these words, sir, SCRB and I am in particular very grateful for your time from your busy schedule. And now, sir, to start the process, to start the program, I request Professor Ashutosh Sharma, who's chairman of Science and Engineering Research Board, which works under the aegis of DST, and also Secretary DST to give opening remarks. Professor Sharma, please.
Thank you, Sandeep. It's indeed a very important day, and I'm so glad that we have with us Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences and Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, because this is indeed a very important step in the right direction. This is about empowering women scientists, and we know that the participation of women scientists in our entire science, technology and innovation ecosystem is on the lower side. There are very many things which are being done by ministries, by Department of Science and Technology as well as other departments to empower women to have their greater participation and their continuation in science and technology as well as to produce leadership. Now we know that this is a multi-dimensional problem. So there are cultural aspects related to this. There is a whole lot of different dimensions, and point is that we need different schemes in order to address these different dimensions. And indeed that is being done. Also, we have to ensure that there is greater participation and leadership which is generated through our different committees. So it is now our objective to have at least 25% women scientists in every committee which evaluates proposal that provides vision in science and technology. So this is among very many other schemes which are there. In particular, Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2020, which is coming up at a very fast rate, factors in very important aspects of diversity, equity and inclusion. Of course, any society which is running on one leg, if the science technology is running with participation of 50% of society, then we are running with very short options. So clearly, greater involvement of youth and women in our science, technology and innovation remains the highest priority, among the highest priorities, and the new policy will pay special attention to that, as well as have actionable items and schemes that would make it possible. This is from pillar of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So Atmanirbharta cannot be only in a pocket. It has to be all inclusive. It has to respect diversity, and this is certainly a big stride in that direction that we are taking today. I now invite Honorable Minister to launch this scheme. Before that, so the presentation is before or after?
Sir, I have a presentation, a very brief presentation, Honorable. Sir, with your permission. Sir, are you able to see my presentation? Is my presentation visible?
Yes.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, Professor Verma, we can see.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we have prepared this brief presentation for Honorable Minister Dr. Harshvardhan, who is the Honorable Union Minister for Science and Technology, Health and Family Welfare and Earth Sciences. So this is a brief overview of women in science, and this slide is taken. Part of the information is taken from the United Nations. They have prepared a brief document, Women in Science, and as you note, worldwide, women account for only 30% of the research. And if you were to factor, India has to contribute at this percentage of women researchers, we stand close to 18.9% of researchers who are women in our R&D ecosystem. Sir, I also show you here that India ranks 112 out of 153 countries which were factored in by World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report, and we are able to see here that in humanities-based research or humanities-based professions, our women are outnumbering men about 58% to 42%. But if you go for higher end science and engineering research, such as cloud computing, engineering, data science, and artificial intelligence, it is suboptimal, below 25% when compared to their male counterparts. So, sir, there exists a definite need where we would like to empower our female researchers. And if you were to look at the gender considerations in STEM, sir, the science, technology, engineering, medicine, and mathematics, the female representation is definitely suboptimal, and it could be addressed with the help of 4 verticals that are shown here. One is that we can populate the pipeline which is coming from schools, colleges, and universities. This is definitely work of a different ministry. We can attract female researchers, we can recruit them in large numbers, we can retain and continuously renew their skill sets so that they are able to continue with their upscaling of their research capabilities. We could also look at inclusion in empowering them, in providing them with the right mentorship, the right network for their R&D opportunities. And so finally, the R&D opportunities that could be provided to female researchers, that is part of Department of Science and Technology and Ministry of Science, where we could be helping them train, we could help them with research support, and we can also offer them visible leadership positions in our R&D ecosystem. And this information, sir, is distilled from latest report from PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is titled Women at Work at 2020. Sir, just 2 slides basically to tell you about Science and Engineering Research Board. We are a statutory body working under the aegis of Department of Science and Technology. We were established through an Act of Parliament in 2008, and I'm very happy to tell you, sir, that this year we'll be commencing our decade in terms of our national service to strengthen research ecosystem of our country. We are a premier research funding agencies with close to 100,000, 1 lakh registered investigators with deep national reach, and we also have a bit of international component contributing to R&D setup. Sir, we follow modern science management practices, and all of our transactions, our submission, evaluation, monitoring, and financial transactions are online, and our mandate is to create synergy through multiple programs between academic institutions and R&D laboratories. We also offer awards, fellowships, travel, and conference support in addition to R&D support. So if you look at sort of bird's eye view of what had happened in 2019-20, we handled close to 35,000 submissions with close to 11,000 sanctions of R&D research projects, sir, and the number of new projects fellowship were close to 2,500. So here are a few numbers. I would not read it out, sir, but what I would like to point out is this particular Supra program, which was launched by SCRB last year, sir, and it was picked up by the new government, by the PMO office as part of their 100 days of science and technology agenda. And I'm very happy to share with the support of our chairperson, we were able to launch this program, and which is totally related to profound research advancement of moonshot ideas, where we are looking for very high risk projects which could really put India on the top of R&D global map. Sir, we do operate at DST as well as SCRB operate a number of women in science programs. We have standing committees and a number of schemes, and we also have, specifically SCRB also have a Science Excellence Award, which is given to younger women who are part of Science Academy fellowship holders, and all our SCRB R&D calls are open to women scientists as well. Given this background, sir, I would like to show you data from last year, from 2019-20, of gender distribution between SCRB core research grant projects. And if you look at the approval rates, sir, if I were to draw your attention, please, between male and female approval rates, you would find that in many given areas, we are hitting below our capabilities in terms of providing optimal support, R&D support to our female researchers. And this, sir, was the genesis, basis of our thought process that we should do something, we should create additional opportunities for our female researchers, because not only they are less in number in our ecosystem, but at times when they are being compared with a different group of individuals, they tend to lose out. And this led us to think about Serve Power, which you will be, sir, launching today. Serve Power stands for Promoting Opportunities for Women in Exploratory Research. And this is the logo, sir, where we have the flame of ideas coming out of a female researcher figure. And we would like to tell you a bit about what Serve Power would do, what kind of support it would create. So, sir, this particular program is dedicated to provide structured support to enhance diversity in R&D, in terms of fair access, in terms of weighted opportunities, so that we could have equitable distribution of funds when it comes to female researchers, both at important research institutions as well as tier 2 research institutions. And this particular program, sir, will be open to all Indian academic institutions and R&D laboratories across the nation. And we are envisaging, or we have envisaged, two mechanisms of support. One is the Serve Power Fellowship, and the other one is Serve Power Research Grant. So, tell you a bit about a Power Fellowship, sir. Excuse me. So in Serve Power Fellowships, we will strive to identify and reward excellent female researchers. And here the idea is to provide the visible leadership for our younger female researchers so that they can look up to Power Fellows who are going to come from Indian academic institutions and R&D laboratories within any branch of science and engineering. We would be looking at, sir, with the Power Fellows between 35 and 55 years of age. And we would also open this fellowship to foreign nationals who are working in Indian institutions, including OCI and NRIs, who are subject to the eligibility governed by SCRB Foreign Researcher Guideline of 2016, sir. What we are proposing here is a research grant of 10 lakhs per annum and a fellowship, personal fellowship of 15,000 per month. And we are hoping to have 25 awards per year for female researchers as Power Fellows. So we also will have the second stream, which will be Power Grant, where we will be operating under two levels. The first level will be research funding up to 60 lakhs for established institutions such as IITs, ICERs, NICER, TIFR, and other universities. And so we have also envisaged that there are level 2 institutions where research ecosystem is not that well developed yet. There is a fire in our researchers to do excellent work, and we would be supporting them at level 2 funding, which would be up to 30 lakh per year. And we have identified mechanism through which we will be soliciting these applications, which will again be completely online through a program advisory committee, which is going to be a focus for our fellows. So, sir, here is the, we have prepared the brochure. We are ready with the launch, which is shown here. The two sides of the brochures are here. And with these words, I'd like to finally sum up with that we will follow up with this particular launch by providing outreach to women scientists, especially the younger ones, sir. We will also create female research role models, and we will raise their profile so that they could be looked up to by our younger generation to become equal partners in R&D ecosystem. We will also track the progress of this scheme, sir, and we will continuously take stakeholder input so that we can optimize and make this program better. And finally, sir, that we would be hoping to develop network and partnership. The follow-up would be that we envisage that female PI-driven national research clusters could be established. Women researcher-oriented international collaborative networks wherever we have strength that could be envisaged with the help of DST International Division. And finally, we would like to connect our women researchers to women-led startups and technology hubs. With these words, sir, I have given you a background, and I thank you very much for your time and for your support. And with these words, sir, I would request you to please launch this scheme and oblige us, sir, with your address and with your thoughts. Thank you very much, sir.
So where is the launch? There are buttons.
There is a video. Sir, may I request you to address, please?
Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, and also the Chairman of SERB, Dr. Rajiv Tayal, Scientist G, Head, SERB Head TMD, TST, Dr. Sanjay Mishra, Scientist G and Head Kiran DST, Madhu Vadhavan Sinha, Dr. Praveen Kumar Soma Sundaram, Scientist F, Dr. Monica Agarwal, Scientist SERB, and on the other side we have Professor Sandeep Verma, Secretary SERB, whom heard just now and who made very fine presentation, and heads of the divisions of D and scientists and office DST and SERB who made this program successful. It's a very privileged moment for me because this is not an ordinary scheme, and being a part of the launch of this function certainly a satisfying moment, and it certainly gives a good feeling, because remember that when I had taken over the Science and Technology Ministry in 2014, there was one meeting which was called by the Prime Minister. This is a group of scientists from all over the country, and that was probably the first meeting along Science and Technology Minister, and at that the Minister had emphasized and had shown his commitment and his willingness to ensure that women in all fields, and because he was they should are involved in representation and women in, and he not only said that at that point of time he declared the formation of a committee. This committee was headed by women scientists, and they were very distinguished from the whole country. The committee had was given the mandate of suggesting how you can in fact, improve and strengthen the involvement of women in science, and that a lot of recommendations I have seen over, because I have been in the ministry for almost 6 years now. On 9th of November, I I shall complete 6 years. So in all branches of science, it's not only about DST, but in SIR and other also. I have seen a lot of involvement of more and more of women scientists, and every now and then new schemes are being launched. I remember having answered detailed description of various schemes that have been launched to promote the women scientists in science on different occasions in Parliament also from time to time. Recently, I answered in detail about the number of schemes that have been launched in my Samvad program also. So I know that it is not only about this Serb power scheme, and you have rightly called it the Serb is even our science, engineering, research. But, power is described as promoting opportunities for exploratory research. So this is another feather in the cap of the Science and Technology Ministry, because as has been uh, mentioned that while internationally we have some 30% women who are involved in science in some way or the other, but in the but in India the percentage is about 18.6%. So that itself is, I think, great indication for working more and more about getting them involved in science. And this is, I think, a great scheme, because we are already mm, helping the women in a number of ways. I can remember these schemes like WAS and A, B, and C, where we have even bothered and taken interest to the extent that if a woman who is already doing good work, working in science, doing research, she gets married, she is in her family way, suddenly she is working in one lab in one particular city, and then she goes to, after marriage, to another place. So earlier there was this disruption in the career. Now there are schemes like WAS, where through the various components we are taking care of these women. We are found ways to ensure that change in their, you can say, situational change in their life doesn't produce a break in their career, and because of that they can come back and join the work that they were doing. They can continue with their research. And then there's another component in this where you can, in fact, they can use their background of science to not necessarily get into an institutionalized, formalized science system, but they can work in other fields also. Maybe agriculture, or any other field which may be relevant, live in the new circumstances, and they can, through those schemes, contribute to the society development. And then these females, they are supported by the department also. So whatever they studied in science in their school, college, or in university, or in the laboratory before marriage, that is not wasted. And then, of course, I've seen myself many women who had this another category of WASC, where they are taught, I think, some 1 year training is there, which is about the intellectual property rights. So this is a very unique program, and these women who are then supported for getting this training about intellectual property rights, they get a lot of, you see, they can get jobs, they can get associated with organizations within the country, outside the country. Then I remember that there are schemes like Curie, where dedicated universities or engineering college or science institutions where there's a 100% women are there. So these institutions are supported by the Department of Science and Technology. So in an indirect way, we are supporting the establishments of women focused around science so that they can derive benefits indirectly. And the grant that is given to such institutions is, or the universities is not a symbolic grant. It sometimes even exceeds 10 crore rupees. So I also remember that we have now this Vigyan Jyoti scheme where we are these top colleges of engineering and in science. They are in fact there we support. In fact, the women in different ways. We prepare them through coaching, we prepare them through financial help, and then we try to sort out their cultural issues. And then this particular scheme, then it was mentioned for this Sir Power also, that you can get them interact with the role models, whether in science or in other fields, so that to give them the type of support that they would require in the society to be able to participate in those institutions. And this particular scheme has also been at the high school level. It has already been implemented in almost I think 50 districts or so. And then we have already helped 2,500 girls in high school, and the target is to at least over the coming years at least support 50,000 girls. So there are you see these schemes that I have mentioned, they are just a symbolic manifestation of the commitment of the present government about the involvement of the women that the government is eager about. The Prime Minister is passionate about. And this is not only in this particular field. I have seen the government from inside out, and I am aware of all other schemes that are being pursued either by the Women and Child Development Ministry. I know my own health ministry, we introduced the Suman program because we are focused on this that is about Surakshit Matritva. And there is a zero tolerance to denial for a pregnant woman in any system in the country. That's the crux of that. Where we have in fact strengthened the overall maternal and child health care systems and taken them to that extent. We know about that Ujjwala Yojana, how the government was passionately pursuing the cause of the poor women in the villages who were subjected to all that smoke and all, causing them all those issues like bronchial asthma and cancers and tuberculosis. And now crores of women have been helped. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. These are all manifestations and these are all schemes. And I know how much in the health ministry and along with the women and child ministry we are working on the national nutrition mission. That's about, and then more than 50% of the women, pregnant women in this country are anemic. Even the young girls are also anemic. So there is a very ambitious program running in all the fields about women, and the Prime Minister did not forget the issue about the women scientists, and it was not. It was in the early stages of his career, and he talked about it. He constituted a committee about it, and this committee, in fact, worked sincerely. Monitoring was done, and all these schemes that are getting, you see, birth right now, every time there is a new scheme. So many are there already in DST, and another sun power thing has also come. And this is now going to help women between 35 to 55 years of age. They a lot of I think help. Whatever they are already getting, they get all that also. Then they get an additional support of 50,000 rupees per month to pursue. And this is, I think, 3 years duration and a support like this. It means a lot. And the very fact that SERB got the data that I saw, that the SERB got 35,300 submissions, and out of that they could select 11,000 submissions, and out of that 2,500 were new projects. This itself speaks volumes about the commitment of the government. You see, about the various institutions and individuals that we are trying to support through projects which will strengthen the science and this engineering research base in the country. And this data that I saw was that for in science, you see, that is, I think, also an indication that we have to work. These are all, I would say, these are beginnings. We should not end here. Because in science, if it is 1 in 9 men, but for women it is 1 in 14. And engineering is 1 in 5 men, and for women it's 1 in 20. So there is still a huge gap. There is still a quite a, I think, from the gender disparity angle that you Dr. Sandeep and Dr. Ashutosh mentioned in the beginning. So these data itself, I think they speak quite a bit about it. And these issues about gender, you see, diversity, and then ensuring this equity and inclusiveness issues. It is the right time because we are at the moment formulating our science, technology, innovation 2020 policy. And we have made it thoroughly inclusive. We are taking the approach to the grassroots levels. We are involving thousands of stakeholders. Already a few thousand stakeholders have been involved. The other day we had a huge, massive meeting with all the state science and technology ministers, the state science and technology councils, and we have highlighted and underlined this issue there also in a big way. Now, next week maybe we are going to have a meeting with the Indian diaspora also. So, I think a lot of these activities they are going to help us in a very big way. And then of course there is not only the SERB Power Fellowship but also the SERB Power Research Grants, which are to the tune of 60 lakhs for 3 years, and then for the level 2 they are 30 lakhs for 3 years. So all these schemes, I think, they are going to help the cause of science, and I think overall the performance in science will improve because it's not that I have to praise women because I am speaking for women scientists, but I think they work a little more diligently. They have a more focused approach, and once they are dedicated to the cause, their approach is always focused around that only. That they learn within their homes also, because when they are serving their family, when they are serving their child, their focus is, you see, a woman is a great mother, she is a great teacher, she is a great sister, she is a great daughter, She is in fact in all aspects her upbringing has given her various dimensions in society also, and she starts serving. They have more, I would say, compassion. They have more vision. They have more sincerity. They have more commitment to a cause. So once their involvement in terms of uh, their qualitative as well as quantitative improvement, if it happens in science, this will serve the cause of science in a much better way. And science, I think, I have said this on a number of occasions that science, I find, has the power to solve everything on earth, not only about human beings, but about everything which is beyond human beings also, whether it is environment or any issue on the globe. Science has the potential. We may not be able to either explore that potential, we may not be able to diagnose that potential, or we may not have been able to utilize the potential that has already been exploited, but we are not able to utilize it for serving the mankind. But science has that potential. So I feel that strengthening the involvement of women in science will certainly help the cause of strengthening science itself. And now the strategy on which the government of India is working under our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is about it's a science for the masses. Not masses for science, it's also masses for science, but science for the masses. So we have both the approaches are there. Through the India International Science Festival type of activities, we are involving the masses and creating that passion amongst the younger students also. And through our laboratories and through the new dynamic approach, we are now trying to deliver the fruits of science for the benefit of the common man. So it's now, I think, in one of our science festivals, we had kept this science for the masses, that as our central theme. So, once again, I congratulate Sir, Dr. Ashutosh Sharma and Dr. Sandeep and all your friends, and I think a launch has been done. Very soon we should start helping the women, and already we have a system which is quite transparent, online, and people don't have those difficulties in applying, or they can apply online, they can get the fruits, they can get the money in their bank accounts straight away, and they can start doing the work. And we should do it with utmost commitment we are doing, but we have to ensure that there are hardly any bottlenecks for the people. Those who deserve, those who are passionate, those who have the vision, and those who have the heart and soul to actually, work with commitment, they should all be helped. And if there is a need, we should, in the future, even try to expand the scope of this scheme. Already we have so much of experience of the earlier schemes that we have launched in the last 5 years for the benefit and progression of career for the women scientists. This scheme, I think, we will find that it's helping. It is of great interest to the women. We could even expand its scope. So with these few words, thank you so much, all of you. And I wish all the women scientists of the country a great future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It is now my pleasure to thank you for the very eloquent remark. And sir, we are aware of your passion, your support for science and technology, and the science and technology being driver for societal change. And as we have seen in this pandemic, sir, your leadership has been remarkable for all of us who work for science and technology. From our side, sir, I on behalf of DST and also SCRP, we provide you with our commitment and resolve that we will be taking such schemes further, and we will be trying to transform the society, the research ecosystem for the better position for our female researchers, and we shall be using this scheme to bring out changes to lower down the gender gap that exists in our R&D ecosystem, and hopefully you will see a definite change in years to come. Sir, we really thank you for your time, and I am truly appreciative for all your support and your kind remarks. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.